Welcome back to Cooking or Something Like It. My name is Jody. We're going to do an entree dish for you tonight. This is going to be sesame chicken. We're going to do this in a couple stages. The first stage here is going to be the marinade, and this only has to marinate for about 20 minutes. So once we do this, we're going to take a little pause, then we're going to come back and we'll show you how to do the sauce. We're going to fry it, we're going to plate it, it's going to be great. But before we get to all that, a little bit of administrative stuff. We have all of our social media contacts, which I'm hoping that our glorious editor is going to put up on the screen right now. And if you like what you see, please leave us a comment, send us an email. Our contact information is on our webpage, cookingorsomethinglikeit.com. So, what do we have here? I have 4 boneless chicken breasts. Now I have cut the fat and I've cut all the icky stuff off of these, if you will. In these jars, I have cooking sherry, flour, soy sauce, sesame oil, baking soda, cornstarch, baking powder, and a little bit of canola oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them into about 1-inch pieces. All right, we're going to throw these into a bowl. And it's a little cramped right now, so let me just get a couple of these done, and then we'll get you a little bit more of a close-up here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to marinate this chicken in this marinade for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to come back and we're going to fry it in a deep fryer. Now, if you don't have a deep fryer, you can certainly do this in a pan. This is not, you don't have to do it in a fryer, you just have to cook the chicken. The flavor should impart very well in about 20 minutes. We're using soy sauce. We're also using an alcohol-based, in this case, sherry. You could use mirin, you could use marsala, but in this case, sherry works the best. So that salt and the alcohol in the marinade should absorb into the chicken fairly quickly. And that flavor should impart real well. When we come back, we're going to do a sauce for this, which will be actually a lot of the same ingredients that we have right here. But we're going to cook it in the pan to make it a little more sauce-like. All right, so we're going to take this. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to rinse the raw chicken off of my hand. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Being that this is a Chinese dish, we do have rice going in a rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, then really what are you doing with your life? But anyways, if you don't have a rice cooker, do it in a pan, but then go buy a rice cooker because it's so much easier. So much easier. I've had this on for about 45 minutes. When I turn it off, the rice will be ready. It will stay ready for about 2 or 3 days if I leave it in there. So just go get a rice cooker. But you can do it in a pan, so let me scourge you. All right, so we're going to take these. This is cooking sherry. This is flour. Sesame oil. Now, all of these ingredients should be displayed in their appropriate quantities on the screen right now.
We never took a picture.
My cameraman just informed me that he totally failed on taking a pre-recipe picture.
You didn't.
So we will just imagine that, but we'll have plenty of after recipe pictures. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna mix it up real well. This recipe will be, it should be on the screen. It definitely will be. Corey does a real good job with that. But if you need to look at it a little closer, it will be on the webpage, and certainly the recipe link will be posted on the Facebook page as well. So, all right, we're gonna mix this up. It's gonna look pretty much like this. You're gonna get like a paste on the chicken, and we just want this to sit for about 20 minutes, okay? So, we're gonna throw this in the fridge for 20 minutes. We're going to come back, we're going to reset, we're going to get the sauce ready for you, and we'll be right back and we'll finish this dish up for you. So the chicken has been marinating for about 20 minutes. It's probably been maybe a little bit longer than that, but You can see it kind of looks like a paste on there. It's not really a liquid marinade. All that cornstarch and flour makes it really stick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our basket and we're going to fry up about half of this, all right? I'd like to do it all in one shot, but if I do that, it's not going to cook evenly. So that's about half. We're going to throw that in the oil. We're going to set this aside, and we will do the rest of that after we're done with this. But I want to make sure that we get through this and stir this chicken up a little bit. Make sure that's all separated and let that cook. Okay, now for the sauce. We have 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. I have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I have 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I have cornstarch, garlic, red chili paste. And this is something you can buy at any Asian food market. You can probably buy it at any supermarket. It's pretty much just a red curry paste. And then I have 1 cup of chicken broth and 2 cups of sugar. Yes, I know that's a lot of sugar, but you'll see how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the water and I'm going to mix it with the chicken broth, and then I'm going to mix the cornstarch into that. Now we've talked about this in other videos about how this makes it a lot easier and it makes it dissolve better. So we're going to stir this up and kind of make cornstarch, chicken broth, water paste here. All right, so we got heat going over here. So we're going to take soy sauce. Miles is breaking everything.
Let's turn the fan on so the smoke alarm goes off.
Yeah, smoke alarm goes off sometimes. We live with that. Sesame oil. Vinegar. Garlic. And let's get something we can stir with here. All right, we're going to let that come up to temp. A little bit of red chili paste. Let's get all of it in there. And we're going to let that start to simmer. Now, this cornstarch mixture, we're going to put a little bit in now just to give it a little bit of moisture so we can get going. All right, here we go. Now, as we do this, you want to make sure you keep mixing the chicken up. I'm going to use these tongs. Now, this chicken was raw when it went in, so they are cut into about 1-inch squares. It shouldn't take that long to cook them, but you want to make sure they are done for sure. All right, let's let that come up to temp. You want to let that garlic cook a little bit before you add anything else. Now, when I add this sugar, this is going to thicken substantially. Just because it's a lot of sugar. This is not a health food dish. All right. We're going to take a sip of our drink, like we always do. Have a drink, Miles. Make it better. Oh, go get it. Like nobody's seen you on camera before.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. All right. So we're letting this come up to temp. That sesame oil is really coming out right now. It is sesame chicken. Yeah, there you go. See, get with the program here. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of sugar, not all of it, just a little bit, just to start to get this mixed together. And it immediately thickens up quite a bit. All right, we're gonna check on our chicken. When you think the chicken's done, give it about 3 more minutes, because these chunks are going to brown up on the outside from the flour and the cornstarch, but they still might be raw inside, so just keep that in mind. All right, we're going to add a little bit more of our liquid and a little bit more of our sugar. You want to do this in stages so that you don't end up burning this, because this can burn real easily because of all that sugar. And the cornstarch is going to make this thicken really fast, so we're going to do this real carefully. But you can smell that sesame. Can you smell it over there? Yeah, the sesame is really really overpowering. Not overpowering, but very, very pungent.
Probably there's all the sugar.
Yeah, it really is. You gotta offset that. All right, so put a little more of that. We're gonna keep doing this just a little bit at a time. All right. Now, what's gonna happen here is this sauce is gonna thicken up into like a almost like a jellied sauce, if you will, like a kind of a thick syrup. Syrup is the word. Yeah, that's the real word. And we're gonna toss the chicken in this, and then we're gonna serve it over rice. All right, so I'm gonna let that keep going. Let that come back up to a boil. Keeping in mind that the sauce I'm making right now is enough for all the chicken that I cut up earlier. So about 4 chicken breasts, which is gonna be roughly 2 pounds. You know, obviously chicken breasts are different sizes, so. Okay, you can see that starting to bubble. We're gonna go ahead and throw the rest of the sugar in and the rest of the cornstarch. All right. And yes, if you can see my sink, you know that I really need to do dishes, but before we started this, there was no dishes, so. All right, I'm gonna let that come up to temp. When this comes up to a boil, it'll thicken up greatly. All right, let that go for a second. We're gonna take a plate here, and let's see. We might have to get a spoon out of the dishwasher. All right. So this is really starting to thicken up now. Now, if I'm using these tongs and I know they're in the raw chicken bowl, it's only because I know this chicken isn't done yet. When we get close to it being done, I will not use the tongs that are in the raw chicken, but we're not quite there yet. So, all right, Miles, can you get in on this real quick?
Yeah, it's in on there.
All right.
Already.
So you can see how thick that is. Okay, I'm going to turn this way down. All right. Now that's very it's syrupy, for lack of a better word. You can see the garlic. All right. Okay. This chicken should be about done. I don't know if you can see that. All right. I'm going to turn the heat off on the sauce. We're going to take this chicken. Now, essentially, these are kind of like boneless wings at this point. You can see that there. All right? And take about half the sauce. Now, I'm kind of an expert at tossing here. If you can't do this, don't worry about it. It'll come to you. All right, we'll let that sit for a minute. We're going to pop open our rice cooker. We're going to take a pretty healthy portion of rice. We're going to spill some on the side of the dish like we always do. All right, let's set this over here. We're going to take our chicken. We're going to do that. And there we go. All right. We have sesame chicken, cooking or something liking style.
Forgot the seeds.
I'm not done yet. Give me a second. God, he's so pushy. So, to finish it off, these are toasted sesame seeds. And we're going to go over the top. There we go. So, sesame chicken, cooking or something like it style, with the seeds. Thank you, Miles.
Yeah.
If you like what you see, please give us a like on Facebook, like our Instagram, follow us on YouTube. We do stuff like this every week. I hope you enjoyed this. Abigail certainly did. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching.